Hi there, this is Java Jim with First Line Equipment, and today in front of us we have once again the Torre Alfredo heat exchange espresso machine. And what we're going to be going over today is how to drain the machine for longer term storage. Typically what I consider longer term is usually more than 2 weeks. And the reason is because an espresso machine that's going to stay in storage for 2 or more weeks, what'll end up happening is you may have some calcification or buildup in the jaclure. It's a little nut with threads and a pinhole inside here. Also, if it has a flow control device as well, you may get some buildup in the hole, and that will cause some issues when you go to reuse the machine, as well as a vibration pump that may get an air pocket. And those are two things you want to kind of avoid. The other thing is, if it's going into cold storage, I prefer that it doesn't. So not into a garage that gets cold, or if you're transporting in a vehicle or a moving company. The reason is because no matter what you do, you can never get all the water out unless you give it a few months to basically evaporate. So avoid cold storage or in movement as well. So to drain the boiler and the pump, it can be a little difficult. This machine does not have hoses that go in through the top. So if your heat exchange machine has hoses, you could take that out, and then you can basically lift the lever on your E61 or run the pump until you hear the pump make a different noise. So if you listen here, this is a completely warmed up machine, so you have to start it with it warmed up. You'll hear the pump kick on when I lift up the lever. Okay, there is a pre-infusion mode on this machine. And if you look here, so I don't have any hoses. I'm going to take the tank out. Okay, water's still coming out. Okay, and there's a little bubbling here. Of course, empty the water reservoir. Okay, once it stops and turns to steam, you could basically shut that down. The next step would be draining, that's draining the heat exchanger. Draining the boiler, you need to do this immediately right after. Okay, and we're gonna fill up a stainless steel canister or a pitcher. Do not use plastic or glass. The plastic one time has melted on me and hot water came on to my body. Another time, about 30 years ago, I used a glass pitcher and it cracked and hot water just went all over my legs, ended up in the hospital. Okay. So the first step, we kind of drain the line and the pump, and we'll get some more water out here. So you have your boiler vessel inside the machine on a heat exchange, and usually the bottom 50% or 40 or 60, depending on the manufacturer, the steam at the top pushes that hot water out through a pipe on the bottom, comes up into the valve here, okay, and then comes out. So right now, this machine is pretty much ready for storage, except for one thing: lift up the lever. So if there is any water inside the system, and if you like, you can also keep these levers down in case there is any little water inside. What happens in freezing? The water expands. So you can leave these in the open position. Now, when you come back and pull the machine out of storage, what's going to be important is that you hear the machine fill, okay, with water. And the first step you're going to want to do is fill the boiler so it doesn't heat up and damage the heating element. So typically you want to start with filled water, and keep your finger on a space here where the water level is, so that within 30 seconds you can see the water level dropping. Because if it doesn't drop, then it means you do have an air pocket. Because sometimes draining it also creates an air pocket. Sometimes, not all the time. Once you see it go down, let the machine fill. And basically at that point, then you'll run water through the group head, and then you should be good to go. If you have any questions or comments, please ask down below. Please follow us on social media channels here at First Line. But more importantly, please share, because the more people that know about this, the better. And last but not least, coffee first, everything else second, and also take care of your espresso machine when you're putting in storage. Thank you for watching. Have a great day and take care.